Hello everybody, I want to talk to you about an important news article that I'm just reading. It's being reported in Texas. Many of the early voting... Well, let me just read the article. Texas voters casting early ballots claim voting machines are switching their ballot choices. This is so important, and I guarantee you none of the liberal news media outlets will report this. I've been saying this for years. The voting machines are rigged. They are nothing but electronics, and to be even more exact, they're computers. Computers that have algorithms to tally up, add up the votes, and transmit the votes. The tally, the total. Unfortunately, these are like computers. They also can have algorithms placed into it to every now and then swap a few hundred votes without the rest of the world being the wiser. Let me read this news article to you. This is very important. Texas voters casting early ballots claim voting machines are switching their choices. And then a subtitle, early voters are complaining about voting machines. Voters casting their ballots early in Texas claimed this week that when casting Democratic or Republican straight ticket ballots, voting machines are in at least 80 counties in the lone state flipped their votes to the other party in key midterm races, including the high-profile competition between incumbent Senator Ted Cruz and his Democratic opponent, Beto O'Rourke. That's my dog walking around, you hear him. The Texas Secretary of the State office on Friday said that there has been issues reported with Hart E-State voting machines, which are used approximately 30% of counties statewide. 30% of counties statewide. The machines feature a wheel for selecting candidates and buttons to move from screen to screen. But the Secretary of the State said that the issues were not caused by the voting machines, but by the voters themselves. The E-Hart machines are not malfunctioning. The problem being reported are a result of user error. Usually, voters hitting a button or using the selection wheel before the screen is finished rendering, said Sam Taylor, spokesman of the Office of Secretary of State, Rolando Pueblos. Well, I can't even pronounce half these damn names anymore. I'm just reading a couple lines. I haven't read this article yet. The Houston Chronicle reported that Democrat voters claimed the machines indicated that they were about to cast a vote for Cruz when they originally intended to choose O'Rourke. Several people said that they were able to get help from employees at polling places in order to change their vote back. Senate state race, oh, that's a subtitle. Mickey Blake, a Houston resident, told KTRK-TV that she voted for Democrats down the ticket, but saw she submitted that O'Rourke's name was not selected. The voting machines are used in around 80 counties in the state. Early voting in Texas began Monday and has featured a strong turnout. I don't need to read the rest of this. Regardless of whether you're Democrat or Republican, you should not have your vote changed, and I find it very suspicious. These machines are getting actually quite complicated, if indeed it is voter error. I've said this for many years now, and you can go back and take a look at the videos. That Chad thing, what was it? 1999, 2000, you know, the Florida election. I believe that was a false flag. To this day, I believe it was a false flag. For many years before then, many years, there was never an issue with the hanging chad. Now, many of you young folks might not remember this or know about this. It is what has changed our voting system from paper ballots to the electronic means of voting. The paper ballots, you used to have to punch holes in it, push out the chads. Those are little perforated circles. And all of a sudden, after many years, there's a problem. We have to move from this chad system over into an electronic system, folks. Those paper ballots, maybe they weren't perfect, but they didn't change your vote like this. This is not the first year. This is not the second year. This is not the third year that people have been complaining that their votes are being swapped out. This is not the first, second, or third year that, let's say, 115% of a county voted. It's impossible. You can only have a maximum of 100%. It's not the first, second, or third, or fourth year that an entire city or an entire town voted Democrat. You mean to tell me in one of those cities not one Republican resided? These electronic machines are bullcrap. And I can handle a couple of hanging chads. I think we should go back to that system. Those had to be hand counted. In addition, these voting machines, how do you think they get the results back to the people so quickly? How? If they're not hand counted, how? Bluetooth maybe? Networked maybe? Can that be hacked? It's just something to think about, folks. Anyway, keep your eyes open for the voting machines. When you go to vote, make sure you get who you're voting for. And take your time at the machines just in case it is user error. Take care.